Welcome to Beyond My Tool podcast. I'm Florin from ACF Plumbing and Heating, and I'm glad to be back in the office to record another great video, another kind of history about what we're doing and the good and the bad. Just to, as I mentioned before, I'm from ACF Plumbing and Heating. So ACF Plumbing and Heating is the sponsor of this episode. Beyond the Tools is a podcast which I came with the idea to kind of share and help other people to understand and to embrace the idea of working for themselves or even opening a business, but in the meantime, in the same time, to help the consumer as well. Today's episode actually will be related to the businesses. We just are in the moment in political itself after the last budget, where a lot of people they're asking question: is it still worth it to be in the business and all that stuff? And I just want to share with you my thoughts and what we are planning to do and how we will tackle this climate. When I decided to expand the business, so it was naturally, like I said to every single customer, the fact that I get more and more happy customers. I get to a point that physically myself as a one-man band, I cannot serve so many customers. So first idea was to bring an apprentice with me and I will do the job. Obviously we get quick to the number where we have to bring someone else and then someone else. So as we stand now, we are at 6 employees in the business. We got 2 engineers on the tools, 2 full-times in the office, is myself as a half, some on tools, on admin, and another subcontractor, which help us all the time when we are overbooked with the jobs. And I thought it would be very easy, which is not, but it's challenging and I like the journey, to be honest. It's easy to plan and to dream to have this goal, achieving this goal. But when you start to actually break down and make a plan and you have to apply the plan, there is where actually the challenging begins. And obviously when you are just yourself in the business, you are the boss, you are the one who execute the orders, so it's easy. But when you have people around you, obviously you have to treat them with respect. You have to create an environment and a system for them to be able to perform and do the task. And there was the point when the challenging began. When I was at myself, I knew all the system in place. I knew absolutely everything. It was easy. But when I started to have the first engineer on the road, obviously the system has to be easy for him to be used to do whatever the jobs he need to be done. And that was the first kind of question mark I have. Wow, I thought it's a lot easier. But what we start to do, we start to focus on creating the system that can be used by anybody in the first day. So rather than being all the time on the phone, how we're doing here. I mean, I'm not talking about the technical side in the job. I'm taking systems to send service reminders, do the gas inspections, all the inside bits to be able to be used by the engineers on field. So we start to implement the systems, and we are at the point that we are still improving them, and which is good. I all the time said to the engineers, like, if there is anything you think is missing from the system, when we have our weekly meeting, just let me know, and let's see how we can improve the system, because there will never be a point where everything is perfect. So I do believe that we have to learn from the past, from the mistakes we are doing, and try to improve it all the time. And obviously there are a lot of feedbacks coming from the from the engineers, and it's like, oh, we need to do this, and it's like, oh wow. So as we stand now, I get it. It's still a work which has to be put in, and it's fun. I think the good side of the scaling a business is learning how to work with people, obviously different characters. It helps you to kind of be more loving towards the people and try to understand their view rather than just do it the way how you want it. it was challenging at the beginning. Now I can say that the team I have around me, which is still a small team compared with other businesses, we work all in the same direction. So it's easy to bring the feedbacks. It's easy to implement the feedbacks in the system because we all have the same goal. We do have a few, I do have a bit of setback because obviously is a lot of expense now having so many people to be paid end of the month. We got highly gas bills, like diesel bills for the vans, repairing the vans and all that stuff. So we just embracing now the real taste of growing a business, a service business, which at the beginning, as I say, was is easy. It's just you duplicate what you do. As simple as that. It's not that easy, but can be done. And as I say, it's challenging, but definitely you can achieve this. Right. So as I said, we end up with some extra expense in the business, and at the beginning, I did probably not take them in consideration. That was my fault. Recently, we took over office as we are having 2 full staff members in the office, and sometimes myself. We need a proper place where we can actually have the office. We can have a weekly meeting, and the rent is the rent, and then oops, we have to pay the water, then we have to pay the electricity, we have to pay that and that and that. Obviously, all this together, you might consider there is a extra cost, and it is an extra cost, but all this is an investment in your business, is an investment in your team. Because if you look after the team and if you invest in the comfort of that workplace for your team, they will perform. And I like to believe that I will create, and I'm doing this a company where everybody is feel welcome and relaxed and comfortable to work there. So. It was a hidden cost. It was just kind of boom, that need to be paid, that need to be paid. But I'm taking as a whole, and I can see already the team performing better because it's an office. They have all the gadgets, all whatever they need to deal with the day-to-day inquiries. So I can see already improvements, even though we just 2 weeks ago we got the office. So in 2 weeks already, I can see that they have different outcome, which is a good thing. I already mentioned was new in our business. We got office. I think is a great achievement. Is a big milestone for us. Actually, this month we will have our 7 years anniversary. So the business legally from 7 years. The year before that, I used to be sole trade. So officially the business is 7 years in the market now. And right now we got office. Probably too late, too early, I don't know. Obviously, because we got many more working with us now, we need that place. Another new things, we have a new office manager. Is a guy who I greatly admire. He used to work in Barclays Bank, has a lot of knowledge around managing teams. So that's a great achievement for us, and it does help us to move to the next level. Some of the people, they might ask why you have to bring another person, why you need the office. I decided not to stay a one-man band and say no to the customers, and that's purely the reality. As I said before, if I will stay as a one-man band, I will have to say no to the customer because physically I cannot fulfill everyone's need. And that's why I decided to expand. And obviously to expand, I need to make sure that I have the correct people in place to deliver the right service to the customer. So having the new office manager in the team is really helping us to kind of focusing and putting everything in place correctly to make sure everyone performs correctly and so on. So that is kind of, I would say, the newest thing we had. So we had this month, actually, it's all happened, the new office and the new staff member, which it is great. It is great. A bit of update on how the business perform. again, because we're expanding, there are a lot of calls, a lot of new people working with us. We slowly moving more selective on on our industry, and even though some people they don't understand, we take a decision not to do the plumbing jobs anymore. And people say, why not? What we realize is that we cannot focus and deliver something perfect if we do absolutely everything. And as we stand now, we are focusing on the heating side, which will be gas boilers, will be AC, obviously we'll do the cooling and heat pumps. And we really want to get our staff trained specific for this. If we will get kind of tangle up with all the plumbing, small jobs, a leak there, a leak there, I'm not saying they are not important, but it's difficult to grow the business on them jobs. So for that reason, we strictly focusing on heating side, which is, as I say, boilers, AC units, or heat pumps. And what we did with the plumbing jobs, not to say no to the customers, we have a sister company which covers all that. So all our customers, which they want to be kind of VIP customers with us, there will be a membership to be paid monthly, and that will give you the access to our technicians, and we will attend within 24 to 40 hours. That will be either will be a boiler breakdown or any leak on your pipes or that kind of stuff. But specific for ACF plumbing and heating, they will focus strictly on this segment, which is a heating, delivering installations, only. Is a decision I make, which we'll see if it pays off or not. But again, we did not drop customers, but we'll just have to push them towards another company, which is our sister company, to strictly deal just with that. So then ACF will stay on the course to deliver the installation, because we strongly believe that the installation has to be done correctly. So if for us to have the installation done to the standards, our staff members has to be trained correctly. So we focus more and more on that, and slowly moving into the heat pump market as well. There is a demand. We are soon to get our last qualification to be able to offer the government grant. So this is where we are with ACF Plumbing and Heating. Product-wise, as a company, we will make it strictly boilers, AC, and heat pumps. As I said, we will have an engineer on each these verticals to be the pro. Again, I strongly believe that you cannot do everything and to do it correctly. So I'd rather have 2 engineers strictly on the boilers and to be the pro, and the same for air conditioning, the same for heat pumps, rather than having a person doing absolutely everything. So that's why we dropped years ago the bathrooms, because it just involved too much other people around. So we said, no, let's focus on this element and deliver this element to the high quality, whatever is the best quality, I will say, yeah. So that's one of the things. Is a new product. We already dealt with air conditioning, but at a very small level. The same with the heat pumps. It was strictly just for new builds. We work closely with a contractor in our region, a builder, and strictly we just deliver that. But now slowly we have day-to-day people inquiry for heat pumps. I want to get rid of this old gas boiler. Can you help us with the heat pump? So we kind of introduced that to the market. Obviously, it's already on the market from different other brands, different other companies. But we embark on the heat pumps journey as well, which I guess will be a great journey. Right, next subject, recruitment for the business. As I said before, I like to work with great people in the team, and I think that's the most challenging segment a business can have. Recruitment is not easy to find the right fit. I used to believe that there's no good gas engineers or good people out there. There are. Not everybody is the correct fit for our business, that's for sure. But that's taking time to find the correct one. So in the last 2 months, looking desperate for a gas engineer, it took us so long, so many people interview, and we did not find the right fit. So in the end, we end up with having a guy who will be just on part-time because he got another few commitments, family. So he will be working just probably 2-3 days a week. But it's a great challenge to find the right fit. And what I will say to you as a business owner, especially if you are in the point now, to look for someone else in the business, to join, try to find the right fit. Technically, you'll be able to train someone, to gain more knowledge and all that stuff. But if it's not the right fit, it does not have the correct attitude, if it does not embrace your vision, your goals as a company, it will be quite difficult that person to work with you for a long time. And I would rather say, well, if he's not a match, just let it go. I all the time believe that things can be trained, including the skills and all that stuff. But when it's coming to the character or to the attitude, that's a bit difficult. So I'm great that at the moment the team I'm working with, they are a very good fit for our business. They strongly believe in our core foundation. And challenging or not, recruitment I think is one of the greatest thing in the business, because in the end the business is formed around the team. If you don't have the correct team, you don't have a business. So I'll say you have to pay extra on having the right people in the team, and when you have the right people in the team, to look after them and to make sure you create the right environment for them to develop and to move to the next level. One of the common mistakes people they do in hiring, which I did, is to kind of go on the route of family and friends. I do have in my business a family member and a friend. However, we put the lines before. Say that's the business, that's the family, that's the business, that's the friendship relationship, and because I was clear from beginning. I won't be the same with you as a friend, the way how I'm you as a boss, as a leader. When we work, that's your target. When we are friends, we're just friends. If there is not a clear boundary line, I probably don't get involved with family and friends. And this is to make sure you don't damage the relationship with them. There's another mistake commonly people they do. They employ people for which they work, in the industry for years and years, and they are not paying enough attention to the attitude and the character, which I just said. For them is mainly to be technically correct, which I get it. Yeah, of course you need a quality gas engineer, you need a quality admin person. That's completely true. But if the attitude is wrong, if he's late to the job, if he's disrespectful to the colleagues, if he's disrespectful to the customers, how that can help to the team? It won't help up to the team. Definitely the team will be all the time under the tension, and sooner or later it will kind of dismantle. So pay more attention to the attitude of that person in the business, because again, if the attitude is not correct, just let go. I made that mistake. I'm guilty of it. I kept one person for nearly 3 years after at least 10-15 red flags. I just ignored them. I believe that I will be able to change the person. I will be able that, give him grace and understand him. He will change. And after 3 years, it just caused more problem in the team. Obviously, financially was expensive as well. So I will say hire fast and fire fast. In a way that if it's not the right fit, just let it go. Don't struggle. It's no point. Obviously, more to encourage you guys. We're a small family-run business because it's just me and my daughter involved in the business. and it is difficult. It's not easy to grow the business, especially in a, I'll say it's a competitive market out there, but I think it's more competitive because of the government taxes rather than competition with other local companies. I'll say every company out there got their own customer, their own market, so we find more and more stressful with different taxes or increasing taxes. And then the question is like, is it still worth it to be in the business? Can you, achieve your goals? Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you have to be very diligent and very organized and bang on. You cannot sleep on your ears and then expect things to happen. So as a leader of your organization, of your company, of your business, you have to be the one, pulling the strings. You have to be there every single day. You have to have the attitude. You have to have the drive, to push the team forward. Don't give up. Probably I'll make a podcast, an episode just about my background, where I start and where I'm now. But just to keep it short, I came in 2010 in England with a deficit of minus £25,000 from a previous business which fails back in my country. And I start from scratch, meaning that I did not speak the language at all. So what I'm speaking now is like literally learn over the last few years, helped by my daughters, my kids actually, my wife as well. But I all the time believe that, there is space, there's all the time space for improvement. So I never ever gave up on the idea of trying to improve my knowledge, my skills, and I worked hard. Obviously, my skills 14 years ago, they were just in the office, picking up the phone call, giving some orders, that's it. So I did not have any skills in the sector of plumbing and heating. I did all my trainings, my qualification here, and then start to develop as well as a business owner, lot of trainings, courses. Don't give up. Simple like that. Why? Because there is a great fulfillment when you start from having nothing, literally starting from a very low position, and gradually to get to the point like I got 6 people working with me in my team, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud that end of the month everyone can afford to take the wage at home and pay their mortgages, pay whatever they need. And that's the important thing. If you consider that, if you think 10 years ago, I was struggling to find work, and after 10 years, we have a decent side business which gradually grows organically as well. And there's I would say a story of resilience. It's easy to drop the towel and leave, is the saying there. I think that's why I challenge myself all the time. The easiest part is all the time just drop the towel and leave. Last budget, which came out a few weeks ago, it kind of pissed me off a bit because you like it or not, their increases on small businesses will affect everybody, to the fact that I'm planning every year to increase the wages in our company by 3-4% minimum, so at least we beat the inflation. Then you start to ask, well, how companies will be able to increase wages slightly when they are taxed more on the NIC. So it's difficult, but before me, there were other companies, there were other business owners through the same challenges. So definitely there is a way out, but you just have to be consistent. You just have to be resilient and push the same thing. Obviously, you have to make sure that your decisions are correct. So all the time, try to make sure you have the right people around you. Try to have a mentor. Make sure you get the right decision in place, because wrong decision, especially financial decisions, can drag you down, and we don't want to go that route. But be resilient. Just don't give up. It's tough. As I said, there were people before us with greater tax on them or inflation and that comes up, and everything was fine. But you just have to hold together. There is a saying that the people who get hurt in the roller coaster are the people who jump from it. So sometimes the life, even as a business owner, or even the business itself, will go up and down. Sometimes, you have a big, huge spike. Everything is perfect. You enjoy that, but sometimes you have a down. So what you're doing when that things happen, you just stick to the plan, just stay there, stay focused, and things will go better. But again, do not give up. I mean, the first thing first, like I said to my apprentice, which now has 3 years with us, first thing I want from you is to show up at work. If you will show up at work every single day, that will be enough for me to understand that you really want this job and you are fit for this job. And it's 3 years and a half today. Bless him, he missed one day, just one day. Since then, did not miss another day. And he's already by himself on the van. He's a qualified plumber, by the way. And in a couple of months, he will be qualified gas engineer. Why? Because he showed up every single day at job. And that's a character, that's an attitude of person who will work and will be well rewarded in our organization. Stay motivated through these challenges. You just stay motivated. How? Of course, do not listen too much to news. Just before I came today to record this podcast, and especially when I'm driving around, I'm really paying attention what content I'm consuming. Easily you can go on the route of listening to all the politics stuff, which can put you down, in all fairness, or you can look for something more positive, to someone, especially businesses. There are a lot of podcasts out there which they will encourage you how to keep pushing. There is a life around the line, so do not give in. Just literally keep fighting. Things will pay off. If I look back 8 years ago when I decided to start my own business, I was literally been sent home by the previous company. They went bankrupt, and it was a challenging situation for me. Again, I have to start the process of looking for companies to work, which I all the time hated. So I end up, I will work for myself. I'm good enough to provide for my family. That turns out after a couple of years to have more people working for me, because we start to grow. Do I regret it? No. Was it easy? No. Is it enjoyable? Yes, it is. So guys, just keep pushing. And we as a nation, as a country, we need young, talented people to jump into the wagon and, work, create businesses, bring your own character, your own vision to a place. You will have people which they will be fixed match with you, and that's the team which will grow your company together. So don't drop off. Keep pushing, and you will succeed. Obviously by putting the work in. So many of you might not know my story, but I came from Romania, 2010, because of after recession, and obviously I failed in the business there, which I take it as a learning curve, even though it was a painful one. But when I came here, obviously I start from scratch. I mean, scratch meaning that I could not speak the language at all. I remember working with a Polish guy in a double glazing company installing windows, and we struggled so much to talk to each other because I did not speak. And then the guy started to teach me tools, like, this is the hammer, this is a screwdriver, this is the drill, and that sort of stuff. So slowly I started to talk. But I could not leave believing that I'll be there all the time. So all the time I want to learn something more, push more, and all the time I look to people to a different level and learning from them, asking questions. I remember asking one guy if I can work next to him. It will be for free, but just to learn that trade. Slowly I started to do a bit of carpentering, and then start to do plumbing. I like plumbing. I just kind of fell in love with it, pipes and all that stuff. And a couple of months I've been around this guy just to get the idea, knowledge around. And when I used to work for a company for quite a long time, they offer me a full contract for a couple of years, and they offer to put me in a training, and they asked me, okay, what training you want to do? By the way, I was doing carpentering for this. I was installing kitchens. And I said, well, I want to do plumbing and my gas qualification. And they were like, what? You are actually a carpenter for us. How on earth do you want to do on the plumbing? But 14 years ago, when I start, I never thought that today I'll be here and I'm having a team of 6 working with me and doing even this podcast. It was something like, obviously I did not plan it. What brought me here, it was the consistency of working every single day to improve myself, improve my skills, improve my language, to be able to talk with customers, especially as a plumber, going around people's homes and understanding their issues. But it was a challenge I put on myself that, I will keep improve. And obviously from reading books and listening to a lot of podcasts, and then doing a lot of different trainings, qualifications, all that, it puts you around people who they are different level than you, and these people, they will help you. So it's a bit shocking, to be honest, if I look back 14 years ago where I was and where I am today. And that's all to be, obviously, I have a wife which supports me a lot in everything what I'm doing. So that helps a lot. That definitely it counts, and it's important to make sure you have people around you which will support you, and try to push them away if they don't. I know if you're in a relationship, I don't say get divorced of your wife, but what I'm saying, try to have people around you which they will encourage you. There will be sometimes silly mistakes you do, decisions, and that person will still be around you. They might tell you, well, that's wrong. But the idea is to have people who can support you, people who can push you from the back, and that will help you eventually to move to the next level. And just take step by steps. I all the time believe that getting out from a big, massive hole, you cannot jump. There's no way. You'll have to take a step ladder, and step by step, you will get out from there. So it's the same thing, improving your skills, your talents, wherever you are in life, is by taking a small step at a time. Do not rush up to, I don't know, you just did not even have the business before, but you just want to have £1 million sell in the first year. I'm not saying it's not possible, but theoretically, you have to learn all the, bit by bit, which, first you have to be able to manage 100 grand a month, and then you'll be probably able to manage 200 grand and so on. So it's important, to believe in yourself. No matter where you are now, you can achieve great stuff, but it's a process. Embrace on that process. Don't be arrogant and have very high view about yourself, that you can do everything by yourself, because in the business world, every great business out there is built on a team. If you are not a team player, if you as a business owner, you cannot be a team player, meaning that you just want to take from people working for you, but you don't bring any value in their life, you won't succeed. I mean, there's a level you'll be, but I all the time want to believe that I am the one who will bring value in my team. How? By creating, by asking feedback, see how exactly they want to see the business, their environment, and improve it. It's not about just myself, to be honest. The business itself, when I started, I did not even plan to have people working with me. It was just, I have to, because I was going over the threshold of the VAT. I have to incorporate a limited company. So there you go. Now I'm running the business, having people working for me, but I want this company everyone to enjoy to work in. Simple as it is. So then it's my duty as a leader in the company to make sure everyone is doing the task correctly, but to have the correct stuff around it. Because if I ask for people and I do not give what they need to, in order to achieve this stuff, that'll be probably the boss. Yeah. So as I said, 14 years ago, I can't go in too much details, but I was really in a point where there was no hope. Let's take it like that. There was no hope. And there are a lot of people out there who listen to this podcast. But recently I have one friend of mine, probably, I would say 6-7 years younger than me. We know each other for a long time, and he knows my history. And but again, having the right people around you to support you, having the right attitude, be resilient, just don't give up. Just don't give up. Just, another day, implement things, learn, develop yourself. And, if especially on the time we live in today now, all this free content you have out there, podcasts, books, is just amazing. So it's a lot easier compared with 20 years ago when I had my first business, when literally it was not even access to too many books about business or even a school to teach you business. Now, at least here in UK, you have a lot of trainings out there which they teach you. They teach you specific strategies based on your field, and you can easily go out and run a business. Back in the day, it was a bit more difficult, but it is possible. It is possible. So, guys, that's my little message about my story, and I do believe greatly that it can be achieved. Let's call it as it is. I was an immigrant coming in this country from a different country, starting from absolutely, I won't even say zero, it's minus, because financially I was in a hole, 25,000 euro it was, yeah. That's a huge hole to start. And again, to come in a different country, different culture, everything is different. No qualification which was recognized here. So I have to start everything from scratch. And there you go, 14 years ago, we're here. So it is possible. But again, have the right people around you, right people which support you, the right people which will tell you the truth, not lying to you. And it can be done. So next section is just about the customer. So I remember first episode when I started, I kind of say a few of the crazy, a bit of crazy story where what we find in people's homes. Now this one, it won't be crazy. It will be a bit more serious, but is more for you as a customer. So as a gadget engineer, obviously, if you work every single day, you'll be called out to different jobs, and you'll be shocked to see what you find out there. And some of you might believe, all this company posting out there, you need to have your boiler service, make sure, it's safe. Some of you, I'm reading posts on Facebook and comments, and I saw a lot of customers, this is nonsense, blah, blah, blah. A boiler is all right, not necessarily has to be serviced. And, what can go wrong and that sort of stuff, yeah? Again, as a breakdown engineer working out there, having 3 engineers on the road, we came across a lot of things. And I'll say every week, at least one boiler is unsafe. So we probably covering 20, 30 boilers a week where we either repair or service. And every week we find an unsafe boiler. And an unsafe boiler, just understand, is where the combustion's result, so the gases after burning, is either leaking in the property or in the boiler. So it's kind of a danger to you as a person living in the property. Yeah, one in 25, 30, I will say like that. And all the time, kind of these boilers, and don't take me wrong, and with all due respect to every of you, all the time it happens, that person calls when the boiler is not working anymore. So, I have a problem with the boiler, can you help us? So we go out there, and obviously when we test it, the boiler is literally knackered. We had these customers when you open the boiler, it was like a war zone. It was literally everywhere leaking. It was like, honestly, gone. And I think the boiler was probably close to about 8-9 years. So, it's still not that old. We never came across to a boiler, and, I can really prove that, where it was serviced every year correct. yeah, and the boiler was suddenly becoming unsafe. Because during the process of servicing, you find issues and you prevent, if you see that, I don't know, a burner gasket is literally damaged, even though there's no leak yet, you show to the customer, you replace it, and that's it. But all the time when we've been called to a breakdown where, like, boiler's not working, can you help me? We go out there and literally we have to condemn the boiler. Recently, we have a job where we have to condemn the boiler and the customer refused to allow us. Literally, no. So obviously we have to do the right things, inform the customers, and that's it. But it's important to look after your boiler, guys. Why would you have a car which takes you to work and you won't take it to the garage to have the oil change, the filters and all the stuff? You need that because that's the car which gives you the access to go at work, get paid and all that stuff. It's the same things with boiler. You might pay for it or you bought the house with the boiler in, but that's the boiler which gives you hot water and heating. Normally you have to look after it. And I know there's a lot of misinformation out there, and people, they say, well, what benefit? I mean, there is a benefit. You might not feel it straight away in your pocket, but you have to understand, by paying £100 in having your boiler service, you will use less gas because the boiler works efficient. So in the end of the year, the £100 you pay for a boiler service, you won't pay in the high gas bills because the boiler suddenly is more efficient. And a boiler which was checked is safe, first and foremost, for your safety. Secondly is it won't cost you unexpected cost because it will break down on you. So heavy service every year. We have boilers where they're reaching 16, 17 years. In the last 8 years, we looked after them and they are all good. They're literally all good. So heavy service, that's really, really important. And touching a bit on the energy efficiency, and, especially now, we go into winters, gas bills will go up and all that stuff. There is a myth out there. People don't believe actually that a new gas boiler will help you save on your gas bill. Again, changing a boiler, brand new one from the old one, you might not see a half cut in your gas bill. You will be about 6-7%, but if you put over the years, that will add up to be probably the value of the boiler. And again, you will have a safe appliance under the warranty. So it is true that you do save with the gas boilers, but understand that you have to look after these appliances. And first is for your own safety. First and foremost, we came across too many properties where there's a CO leak in the property. And some of you guys, you don't even have a carbon monoxide alarm. By the way, with our installation, absolutely every single job we do, we put a brand new CO alarm. But you, as an owner, if you have a boiler which is, 5, 6, 7 years, heavy service, guys. Heavy service to keep your family safe and to prevent unexpected costs to heavy repair. So one of the craziest story I can say was the job where we need to condemn the boiler and the customer purely refused to allow us. And what can I say? You'll find these customers, we move on. There was another instance where, again, same situation, boiler, very old boiler, never been looked after. They don't understand how we not necessarily have the authority to condemn the boiler, but we have to inform you that has to be condemned. If you deny that, if you are not allowing us to keep you safe, then we'll have to report that to your gas supplier, which is the network supplier, and they will cut your property off from gas. Simple like that. Yeah. So we had recently a situation similar. Boiler was literally old, not looked after, and they don't understand how can you come in my property and disconnect the boiler. Well, as a gas engineer, first and foremost, our first calling is to keep you safe. That's the first one. Safe meaning not warm. So, I understand you want the heating on, the hot water on, that's completely fine. But our first calling is to make sure that you are safe, the appliance is safe, is not a danger to the occupants of the house. And the person kind of refused, went a bit ballistic with us, kicked me out from the property. Yeah, so this is the life of a gas engineer. Sometimes, we get loved by some of you guys. Some of you just kicked us out. So, but it's fine with us. We still going ahead to do the job right. Obviously, there are a lot of good customers out there, which I believe all of you are good, but sometimes you have some bad days and it's difficult to understand. But one thing I'll say, have your appliance service every single year. Is a gas appliance, which can go wrong easily, and unfortunately there were deaths because of carbon monoxide leading the property. So have a service every year, and I won't go too deep in too much detail on the crazy stories, but we still find great if you can call them great, a crazy story out there, which kind of keep us sometimes entertained, sometimes really kind of stretch our nerves, but there you go. This is the life of our as a gas engineer. Again, I want to say thank you for staying here. I do expect comments from you guys. I do expect questions. I've been already contacted via Messenger by a few of you guys. And I know that already people are listening, getting encouraged by our message, which is a really good thing. And I think that's the main scope and that's the goal of this podcast, to make sure that, we encourage the new generation coming in. I remember being young and having the fear of failing, but I do get, and there's no failing. I think Peter Jones, he has a great saying that there's no failing, is a feedback. So it's when you think you fail on whatever you're doing, actually is not a failing as long as you look at it and try to learn from it. So as an entrepreneur, you will have challenges. And in order to succeed, you will have to fail. Failing means that you'll have a step or two back, but the important is to keep going up. So you have a 2-step back, something did not went correctly. I don't know what deal you do or what business you try to start. But as long as you keep pushing ahead, you will be good. So do not go back. Keep pushing ahead and you'll be fine. So again, thanks a lot for the feedbacks, and if you have comments and if you have anything you want to ask about business or how I went from minus 25,000 pounds and in 10 years to have a decent sized business which could be close to nearly £1 million revenue, which is projected for probably in the next 2-3 months. I haven't done it by myself. I'll be honest with you. I love people, a lot of mentors around, a lot of people which encourage me, teach me how to do it. So there is hope. You just have to ask. You just have to be out there and don't believe that you can do everything by yourself. That's the one thing I will advise. There are all the time people out there who are ready to help. You just have to ask the question and you have to put the work in. Till to the next episode. As I said, I'm waiting for your feedbacks. I'm waiting for your questions. I just want to say again, big thanks to ASF Plumbing and Heating. They are the one paying the bill. This podcast costs us money. It's not coming for free. We are in a loss at the moment, but I hope that this content will help other people, especially the young generation planning to get in the business. I mean, whatever the business you might think you go. The message is purely here to tell you that there is a great achievement you can do by following your goals. So just keep pushing. Till the next episode, I want to thank you again. I know it was a short one today, but it was a message purely to kind of take you through what we're doing, how we are, but encouraging as well. We go into up and downs, but I'm still here. I'm still alive, so you can do the same. Hold tight. Have a great day, great evening, and we'll see you next episode. Thank you.